Assetto Corsa EVO launched into early access on January 16, 2025, and it was a big moment for sim racing fans. Built from the ground up by Kunos, EVO promised to be a new era for the franchise. New graphics engine, advanced physics, dynamic weather, as well as many fan favourite features made from Assetto Corsa mods of all things. This was going to be a big leap forward into realism. So now, 6 months on, let's take a look about what's changed, what's improved, and what still needs work. So let's get started. When it dropped, AC Evo started with a lean but promising foundation. We got 20 high detailed cars including the Toyota GR86, Ferrari 296 GTB, BMW M2 CS, and the spicy Abarth 695 Piposto. Not to mention the Golf GTI Club Sport for all you golf fans out there. We started off with 5 laser scan tracks such as Imola, Brands Hatch, Laguna Seca and Mount Panama, and the game modes were free practice, quick race, driving academy, more on that later, and special events. And support for VR, triple screen setup and a ton of peripherals were also included. Sounds decent, right? Well, yes and no. This was not a smooth start. As expected in most early access launches, it did feel a bit bare bones. The AI felt like a throwback to AC1, and not in the best sort of way, in the way that when you just made a track in Assetto Corsa and they're going all over the shop. Optimization was a major issue though. It was rough. To make things worse, server issues at launch meant players couldn't set up their profiles or try out the career mode. They couldn't even get into the driver academy. The silver lining though, all the content was still playable, just offline. And it was around here where players realised that in order to save certain lap times or do the academy, you're gonna need an internet connection all of the time. As you can imagine, the decision went down well. Now let's talk about the major updates and certain patches. The first major update was update 0.16, where this added 2 new cars, Fuji Speedway and Glorious Detail, and crucially a working server so that you can finally set up a profile and try out the driver academy. This was a very small step forward though. However, we got a much bigger step 3 weeks ago, when update 0.2 came out. This instead featured 7 new cars, and 2 more tracks such as Donington Park and Circuit of the Americas, and the introduction to open mode and career mode when you launch the game. This was brought in so that if you want to try your career mode out, that's perfectly fine. You can just do the career mode, buy your car, do the academy, or unless if you just want everything at your disposal straight away, you can just try out the open mode. It reminds me of arcade mode and career mode in the old Gran Turismo games. Gameplay wise, they re-enabled fuel and battery consumption, gearbox damage and dynamic track physics that evolve as you race. We also got OEM parts customization, so certain cars were able to have certain modifications put onto them. All cosmetic, but still very cool. A progression with XP and credits was adjusted. This was originally added in 1.6, but it was adjusted slightly. And we can finally add a driver profile system. A huge update that definitely had no issues. Oh, there was one caveat. So when we got the big update from 0.16 to 0.2, some players, including myself, had all their progress completely wiped. So if you were like me who put hours into the driver academy, well, be prepared to do it all over again. Yep, you're going to be driving that Alpine Renault 5 thing again. How fun is that? Welcome to early access. So my advice from now on is to not put too much time into this until the actual launch of the game comes out. The AI still isn't fully dialed in, and the career open modes are a bit decisive. Some players love the grind and unlocking features that could be used in the open modes, but others just haven't got that time or commitment at the moment, so they'd rather have everything up front. But at least there is something for both camps now. If you're someone like myself who's making content but might not have the time or might not be playing the game at the moment, I think the open mode is excellent. I think it's a good idea, so you can try out all the new cars. And, well, while you're doing your career mode, if you want to buy a car but you're not sure, you can try it out there. The roadmap, regardless of what we've seen so far, is shaping up quite nicely though. Here's a selection of a few big ticket items coming soon. SimGrid multiplayer integration, a single player championships, modding tools, career mode expansions, and free roam. Yes, for real. These will all be leading up to the full 1.0 release, targeted for fall in 2025. We should be expecting the free roam this summer. However, I have a slight suspicion that we won't be seeing that for another while. Are you tired of your car being too old and not having CarPlay and other cool features? Then you should consider the CarPod Go T3 Pro. Using my affiliate link in the description below and using the discount code TheFerrariGuy, you can get $50 off your order. Thanks again to CarPod Go. Now back to the video. But if we got it by August, I think I will be very excited with that one. I'll be honest, it's probably the feature I'm looking forward to the most, but I'm really interested to see how it, among all the other features, turn out. So we are 6 months in. How are we feeling? On one hand, the updates just feel a little too spaced out and a little bit light on content. This has caused some frustration in the community, including myself. There are still some force feedback issues that create a slightly bland driving experience, audio glitches and performance issues, especially with mid-range setups. Optimization is quite poor. Now, I will share my PC specs on the screen right now, although players with smaller and less powerful computers have struggled big time here. And even with the most recent update, optimization is still not the best, so I would genuinely advise that you wait another while if your setup isn't that powerful. But regardless of these issues, when it works, the game feels amazing to drive and play. You can tell the physics engine is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, which is generally immersive, and yet the best of this is yet to come. As Kunos have admitted recently, this hasn't been their priority over the last few updates. That is when they are saying things, because they have been quite quiet at times. Not every update is well communicated, and that can be worrying. We can all see what happened with Test Drive Limited's Solar Crown. But they are actually listening this time. They're tracking feedback, watching how players interact with the systems, and slowly shaping this game into something that is truly special. You can feel the care, attention and perfectionism in the car models. The track details and driving sensations itself just lets you know that this isn't a rushed product. It's definitely not their first product either. It's extremely far from it. That being said, I think they need to push on optimization and accessibility to bring more players in. And we could really use another update, like soon. To be fair, we had the 0.2 update about 3 to 4 weeks ago now, and if I was to predict, I could let a little cheeky bet and say we might not get the next update until either the end of June or the middle of July. But regardless, as long as the quantity and quality of content continues and we expect a bit more in depth with Assetto Corsa EVO, I think we are going to be on to an absolute winner. Rome was not made in a day, and I think we should remember that. So what do you think? Has Assetto Corsa EVO met your expectations? Which upcoming feature are you most excited about? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, remember to like, share and subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads. And finally, thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you all very soon.